nearing the final approach, sweetheart. Setting our rent-a-freighter on autopilot. We should arrive in about 10 minutes. If you use the projector scope, you can see the grand spectacle from here. Almost 500,000 people will be watching from the sidelines at today's annual sky race. And another 100 million will be watching from their hollow screens at home. The long lines of hovercars and suborbital traffic heading our way. They're all spectators for the main event. It's quite literally the biggest thing in Neo-Tokyo every year, next to Skylar Synthwave concerts. I know you asked me not to talk about it, but I still have a bad feeling about this race. There are other things we can do to pay off our debts. I know we really ran up the bill on our recent adventures, and even third place would make us square with our creditors, and then some. But a third of the racers perish every year before crossing the finish line. I know you have confidence in your driving skills, and so do I, but there's something else I haven't told you yet. I was the mechanic for last year's returning champion, Raoul Kitadine. I can see that you've heard of him. I guess he was quite the celebrity, even out in New Angeles. I was watching the race with the crowd when he collided with another hoverbike at the halfway point. And well, I was devastated. In a single instant, he was gone. I couldn't bring myself to visit his funeral. Instead, I locked myself in my apartment and worked on little projects until I could face the world again. All I could think about was how helpless I was the moment that his bike exploded. I saw it replay in my mind over and over again. How the polysteel ignited into a fireball and crashed into a skyscraper. There was nothing left of his body for the funeral. I don't remember how long it took me to recover from that experience. I suppose I've never been at peace with it. Even though I made sure that his bike performed at peak efficiency, I can't control the other factors that only the racer can handle. Standing here now, seeing the crowd arriving, I realize that if something were to happen to you, my heart would break. You are the love of my life. I feel that deep in my soul. But you know this already. And I can see in your eyes that while you understand, you made up your mind a while ago. You want and need to do this. Just be safe out there. I don't care about the prize money. You are what matters to me. Since you're resolved to do this, let's do one more inspection of your vehicle before we arrive. I have to say, a Turbohawk 4000 is a much better vehicle than I thought we can find for this race. Rini really came through for us on this one. She said one of her old girlfriends gave it to her as a gift, and it was sitting in her garage for months. I told her there's a chance it could be damaged in the race, but she doesn't seem to care about that. She did mention that our least favorite CEO, Damien Voss, would be competing against us today, daring to ride in the Grand Prix himself. He doesn't know about you, of course, that you're the one with the kaiju-affected blood that he was looking for. But Rini says that he has expressed some curiosity since learning that you're my boyfriend. She even said he acted strangely when he found out you'd be in today's race. If you see him on the track today, it's probably best to keep your distance. Anyways, let's give the Turbohawk another once-over. She is a beauty, that's for sure. Keiko Dome vehicles really know how to manufacture sexy beasts with her sleek polymetal alloy. I kind of just want to rub my hands all over her. Don't be jealous. Seeing your mods ripple beneath your muscles causes me just as much distraction. Yes, I know. I need to focus. Activating system diagnostics. Core tech engine, purring like a kitten after that fresh tune-up I gave her. The gravitronic thrusters are responding with precision, and they better, because I rebuilt each with painstaking care. They'll now reach full power in less than 4 seconds, so be careful when accelerating. It's only going to require a gentle squeeze. The MobiLink steering system is smoother than silk, thanks to some late-night tweaking. Her Neo steel plating is at full integrity. I triple-checked each piece myself. Yes, I snuck out of bed while you were sleeping. I knew you wouldn't mind, since it's for a good cause. The maglev suspension is steady as she goes, optimized for peak polarization. Let's check the quantum brake discs. Yes, they're humming and at the ready. Is there anything else you need me to check before we arrive at the starting line? Nothing? I know you trust me. But the world is chaotic and unreliable, my love. So that's why we have to quadruple and quintuple check everything. I know I'm a bit much sometimes, but I don't think I can be any other way. Let me check the fitting on your race suit. It's tensor grade, so it'll remove most of the drag that might slow you down during the race. Oh, I should check your sensory implants as well, especially the DX4 spatial computer I added to your cerebral cortex. It's directly linked to the TurboHawk's onboard navigation for that extra guidance you'll need for key turns during the race. It'll also help you avoid potential collisions. I'm getting a warning in your DX4 implant. It could be nothing, but it's best for me to check again. Looks like our rent-a-freighter is descending at the starting line, but this shouldn't take more than a moment. The issue doesn't appear to be your implant. I think the TurboHawk is going out of sync with the connection to your neocortex. I don't know how that's possible, because everything was working fine last night. Oh great, now the loading bay door is opening. I'm getting notifications from the race administration. They want you and the TurboHawk on the starting line in no less than 3 minutes, or you'll be disqualified. But you can't race with your sync disrupted with the hoverbike. Why don't you head down the ramp and deal with the administration while I fix the bike? Yes, divide and conquer. That's a good idea. I'll stay patched in. If this takes more than a minute or two, we may be in trouble. Okay, I'm removing some of the Neo steel plating in order to access the geosynchronous transmitter. It's brand new. I just installed it yesterday. Except, this is strange. This isn't the one that I put in here. It's a totally different brand. In fact, I'll give you one guess who manufactured this transmitter. That's right, Nexus Innovations. I think we've been sabotaged. How did someone access my garage between now and early this morning? And who would do such a thing? I don't want to point fingers, but Voss is the CEO of Nexus Innovations. I can't think of anyone else who might gain from you losing the race. At least, nobody that I know. So Voss is squarely on our prime suspect list.
All racers, please take your positions.
I know that we're running out of time. The administration is doing last calls, and we're not even at the starting line yet. Since you need the bike ready to go, right this moment, go ahead and pull it from the freighter. I'm going to take a moment, but I'll be right back. I've reinserted the transmitter for now, since we don't have a backup. Don't worry, I have a plan, even though I personally don't like it. Yes, I know it's pretty chaotic out there. Over 100 racers, their vehicles, and a ginormous crowd of spectators. Nothing brings Neo-Tokyo together like the grand annual Sky Race. Okay. I'm setting the rent-a-freighter on autopilot on the sidelines, and I'm coming down to meet you. I see your mouth gaping open. What am I wearing, you ask? It's my own tensor-grade race suit. Why did I put it on? Because, silly, I'm going to be riding with you. Since your Turbo Hawk's transmitter is faulty, I'll have to stay in close proximity to keep it aligned and ensure it's not sending false signals to your cerebral cortex. At the speeds you'll be flying, it would be deadly to let you race alone. I've thought about it, and this is the only way, unless you've changed your mind and you want to drop out of the race. Then it's settled. We're doing this together. Let's get into position and let's do this. All right. I have a grav tether connecting you to me. That should let me access my data pad when I need to. I'll get notifications when your DX4 loses sync. It looks like almost all the contestants are in place. I'll wrap my hands very tightly around you for now. My body is shaking? That shouldn't be any surprise. Sorry, I don't mean to be short with you. This is a bit nerve-wracking, but don't worry about me. Focus. Visualize yourself winning. See us crossing the finish line, the crowds cheering us on to victory. Imagine how it feels, the rush and adrenaline of being first place. I'll do the same. I have your back, my love. We'll win this together. I spotted Voss, who I'm mostly convinced sabotaged your bike. He's on a Firestorm XL, the latest and fastest model that I can possibly think of. He's placed all the way in the back row. I suppose it's because of the edge he has with that kind of turbocharger. If it was a race between the hardware alone, his Firestorm XL against our Turbo Hawk, he'd win, no doubt in my mind. So it's the racer that will have to make the difference. I'm overanalyzing the situation, aren't I? You know me, I'm a chatterbox with people I'm comfortable around, and you seem to concentrate just fine, right? That's a relief. I'm only here because I want to help you. But there's something else that I've been keeping from you. It's the real reason that my hands can't stop shaking. Raoul, the one who died in the last Grand Prix, we were together for a short time, romantically. He wasn't perfect, but I did like him. I guess I was also caught up in the feeling of being with someone famous. When he crashed, it was like a hole opened up in my heart. Adding that on top of the pain of losing my parents back when I was a child. There were some days where I wondered, what's the point of it all if I just lose the people that I care about and love? I felt that way all the way up until I met you at Pulse Nova Haven. I felt burned out inside, like I was hollow, like I couldn't be a real person anymore. It made it easier to go along with Voss's plan to lead you to the gardens, where he could see your connection to the kaijus and their dimension. I kept wondering if you would notice that I felt empty inside at the time. But something funny happened. Somehow, being with you kindled the dying fire in my heart. When we were on the way to deliver you to Voss, I couldn't go through with it. Even back then, hardly knowing you, I could feel the connection between us. It's just another reason I have to ride with you now, because I can't imagine being in the world without you. I know that must sound like too much, like I'm being overdramatic. Maybe it's all in my head, but it's how I truly feel. I don't mean to be needy or overly attached, and I know I just gave you a lot of information. I hope you understand what I'm trying to express. I'm glad it's okay. You don't have to explain any more than that. I should let you pay attention to the race. I promise I won't be distracted. Now that's off my chest. I guess that's the real reason I told you, so that I'm not stuck in my own head. I'll help you win, every way that I can. I doubt many of these drivers have a mechanic riding on their bikes, so that's a leg up we have. Voss is looking my way. I wonder what he's thinking now that he's spotted us. It's hard to tell. There are 98 other racers for us both to worry about. It looks like the organizers just sent us the track map. I'm bringing it up on a holographic overlay, analyzing it for tricky spots. Well, whoever planned this competition, they were ambitious to say the least. This is the most dangerous sky race route that I've ever seen. It makes me angry that after everything, they're still trying to push their ratings higher by making it even deadlier. I trust you. I know that you can handle it.
Racers, start your engines.
Galactic citizens, are you prepared for the grand annual Sky Race? 100 racers are about to embark on the most daring course, designed by our Prime Magistrate himself. Who will win and who will perish? The race is about to begin.
Take deep breaths, Gemma. Deep breaths. Yes, I'm talking to myself. One last mental preparation.
Three, two, one.
I'm okay. I just wasn't expecting the G-force to be quite that rough. The other racers are swarming around us, all vying to get ahead. But I see you're moving swiftly between them, like a dolphin at home in the sea. We're off to a good start then. Examining the map, we'll have to punch the thrusters right before the barricade. That will carry us up between the statues of Neo-Tokyo's past Prime Magistrates. Here they come. And there. For a minute, I thought we were actually going to hit the barricade. But you know what you're doing, of course. Now we'll have to spiral upwards, around these statues, towards the heavens. If I was back in the crowd, watching this on the screen, it would be quite the spectacle. It'll be glorious to rewatch later. Oh my. I feel dizzy from all this spinning higher. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. Two racers just crashed into each other. We've hardly begun, and already someone's perished. I feel a lot of mixed emotions about this, but I'll keep them to myself so you can focus. We've just cleared the statues. Great work. Now, we have to dodge the UEG fleet that's hovering in the city skyline. How nice of the Armada to lend these to the organization for the race. There's even an IX-9 balustrade amongst the battle cruisers. The formation doesn't leave much room for maneuvering. If we crash here, we won't even dent their polysteel alloys. There won't be anything left of us, except maybe a memory. These two cruisers are coming mighty close. Are you sure we can fit between them? You're speeding up, so I'll take that as a yes. Whew! We made it. Very narrowly. A few other racers weren't so lucky. Okay, according to the map, this next one is a dive down through the slums. That's not a common place for the race to go, because who knows what the gangs might do to us during the race. Here we go. The dive begins. Gosh, the descent is making me feel dizzy again. Heads up on our right. Voss is gaining on us. And there he goes, swooping ahead. His Firestorm XL is built for steep dives like this. Wait, your DX4 just lost sync with the hoverbike, didn't it? It looks like the transmitter is on some kind of feedback loop. Hold on. I'm attempting to recalibrate it. We're entering a free fall. I have to get the waveforms to match. If I don't get them to align, we'll be obliterated on the pavement below. I think I got it. Pull up. Oh my gosh. We just kissed the ground. That was such a close call. And now, I'm picking up bogeys on our sensors. Biker gangs. They'll be armed. You'll have to evade them until we exit the slums. These pirates are taking out racers left and right. It's a massacre. I can't believe the brutality of it. Yes, I'm holding on as tight as I can. Why do you... Oh my. I was not expecting you to hit the thrusters and spin us into a loop, but you managed to dodge those rockets, so I'm not complaining. There's a military escort ahead. I think we're exiting the slums part of the track. Now we're entering the Vanderbilt residential sector. Am I clutching onto you too tight? Sorry, I didn't mean to. It's just that building over there is the place where Raoul crashed. Normally I avoid it, but here it is. And here we are. I know the same thing won't happen to us, because you're going to fly us to victory. There's Voss, right ahead of us. He looks surprised to see us catching up to him. Don't let him get ahead of us. Let's leave this bastard in our sky dust. We're giving him a run for his money now. I see the track takes us into the Kaiju Memorial Park, right over the place where my parents used to have their laboratory. It will run us down through the skeletal remains of the kaijus. Your vitals are spiking. Is everything okay? Your adrenal markers are going through the roof. It's not the DX4. That seems fine. Wait, what's happening? It's like reality is distorting around us. Like we're in some kind of tunnel. Neo-Tokyo is gone. Voss is gone. I don't understand. Do you have any idea what's happening? Oh my. We've left the tunnel. And what is this place? The sky is filled with purple clouds. I see volcanoes and mountains made of reddish sand. It's like an alien planet. How in the world did we get here? You don't know either. Keep flying for now. I'm checking the sensor data coming into the Turbohawk. It can't identify our location either. Do you hear those sounds? They sound so familiar. Oh no, it's what I was afraid of. They're coming from kaijus. Giant, building-sized monsters. I think that maybe somehow you brought us here with your kaiju-influenced blood. I'm not sure what triggered it, but we already know that Voss wanted you for something like this. But I thought your abilities could move you around space, not dimensions. From what I understand, the monsters aren't from our reality. This is going to sound quite blunt, but can you take us back? You're not sure? Well, try, please. There's something moving towards us from the clouds. I think it's a giant flying creature. At the speed it's moving, it'll reach us any moment. Spin the bike around and see if you can take us back to the spot where we entered. Try feeling what you did before. Maybe that has something to do with it? Here comes the monster. It's nearly on us. I see the air is shimmering. Reality is twisting into a tunnel again. Go. Oh my, we're back in the race in Neo-Tokyo. For a second, I thought we were goners. Checking the map. We've teleported near the finish line. And look, there's Voss, right ahead of us. He's about to win. Give it everything you got. Go, go. We might have enough afterburner fuel for an edge. We're nearly neck and neck with him. The final part of the course is all curves, making this run about skill over speed. I bet Voss is sweating under that helmet of his. I can see the finish line. Here it comes. And you've done it. I think we crossed the finish line first. Yes, it's confirmed. My love, you won it. Oh, I suppose you're right. We won the race together. Voss does not look happy at all. We nearly died a half dozen times, and we teleported to who knows where. But you did it. You won the race. I wonder if the cameras recorded us when we left and entered reality. They probably did. That might be a problem for us, if Voss finds out. I suppose that's a bridge we'll cross when we get to it. For now, it looks like everyone wants to get our photos. I don't know how to take all this attention. All I can think about is the dimension we just entered. I'm sure the bike recorded some valuable information while we were there. I suppose you're right. We should enjoy the moment. Well, let's take our helmets off, greet the media, and collect our prize money, which will be more credits than I could have imagined. But first, now that our helmets are gone, kiss me, my champion. You've been listening to Cyberpunk Girlfriend, the Beyond All Barriers story arc. If you're enjoying our adventure, please like, subscribe, and see my full playlist for each experience in chronological order. I think something big is on the way for us, just around the corner.